Welcome back to Inside the 12. Joining us now to share her insights on a great week of women's college basketball and what lies ahead, Big 12 ambassador Rachel Galligan. Rachel, thanks for joining us again.
Happy to be here, as always.
Happy to break down the week that was and look forward. And we had a midweek clash of two top 25 teams, West Virginia and Baylor. The Bears come out on top to push their winning streak to 5 games. What did you see from Baylor that will allow them to keep challenging teams at the top?
Well, I mean, you guys know this. Every coach in the country is trying to get their team to be playing their best basketball this time of the year. And I think that's what Nikki Collin and what this Baylor team are doing right now. And in that game, they did a great job of controlling the pace. West Virginia really was never able to play their brand of basketball. Baylor forced the game into the half court. They executed offensively with multiple players contributing. They shot 50% from the three-point line. Sarah Andrews and Bella Fauneroy hit 8 of those threes. And they did a really great job of establishing Arinette Von Lay in the paint, which in my opinion was a huge advantage. She ended up leading all scorers with 21 points. So that's 5 wins in a row, a quad 1 win, and just like that, they're currently tied for first place at the top of the Big 12 standings.
Oh, I love when my Bears are doing good. I love the sound of that. But another team with momentum is Utah. They have clicked off 6 wins in a row after beating Colorado by 17 points. What to you stood out about their play Wednesday?
Well, that was a big win for Utah. Colorado has shown time and time again that they can be a major problem in the Big 12. And this Utah team can score it. They're disciplined, they're veteran, and they know what it takes to win late in the season. They shot 51% from the floor. They really set the tone offensively out of the gate and just never looked back. They do such an elite job of sharing the basketball, taking high percentage shots, and also generating consecutive stops. And I've said this before, I'll keep saying it. I think that getting Kennedy McQueen back has been pivotal to this team's success and their momentum right now. They were without her for arguably the hardest part of their conference slate. But with her back, like you said, they've now won 6 in a row.
Yeah, and the defensive stops, you get to this part of the season, that is going to be essential to them progressing. Things are starting to really get tight at the top of the Big 12 as other teams progress. You look at the standings, 6 teams all within a game or 2 of each other. How do you see this race in the regular season unfolding over the next few weeks?
Well, I mean, this is really what February conference basketball is all about, right? I mean, it's wild to think just how wide open this thing is right now, and it's really anyone's for the taking. We've got 5 games left. You currently got 3 teams tied at first place, the top of the standings, in Kansas State, TCU, and Baylor at 11-2. And then you got 2 teams currently tied at 1 game back from first place in Utah and Oklahoma State. And then West Virginia, they're sitting at 2 games back. You know, and here's the thing, they're all going to play one another these next couple of weeks. We've got some critical matchups in these final 5 games in the season. In my opinion, more than likely, this is going to come down to the final day of the regular season on March 2nd.
Yeah, we are in for a treat, and we've seen a lot of good basketball. We've also seen a lot of buckets. I mean, the Big 12 has been putting up a lot of points on the scoreboard this season. What has been some of the most impressive performances for you as of late?
Well, I think first you got to start with Audie Crooks, who leads the Big 12 in scoring. She's 6th in the nation, averaging 23 points per game. She's shooting nearly 60% from the floor and set new Iowa State sophomore records for points and made field goals. She became the fastest player in program history to score 1,000 points earlier this season, doing so in just 49 games. I think another storyline, entering this week, the Big 12 led all conferences with individual 30-point performances this season with 30 total. And then you got Oklahoma State. They're the only Division I team with 4 players who've had 30-point games so far this season. And I think finally we have to talk about Gianna Neepkins and Kennedy McQueen again for Utah. Entering this week, they were both a part of the 50-40-90 club, shooting 50% from the floor, 40% from the three-point line, and 90% from the free throw line. That's rare for one player, let alone having 2 from the same team. That's just incredibly impressive.
You mentioned some of those important matchups, right, as this race continues. We've got some important ones coming up next week, Rachel. What are the games that we do not want to miss?
First off, Kansas State at West Virginia on Monday. That's a really quick turnaround for Kansas State, who's going to travel and prep all in one day. I want to see how they're able to handle that tough swing and how West Virginia can respond to their loss to Baylor. West Virginia is a very scary team, especially at home. And then Oklahoma State at Utah on Tuesday. I think that kind of speaks for itself, but this is a big opportunity for Utah to get a ranked conference win at home.
All right, Rachel Galligan, thank you so much for keeping us informed and up to date on exactly what's going on in the Big 12 Women's Basketball Conference and scene. Cannot wait to see some of those games this week. We appreciate you.